wrote it down. Good evening. How's everybody doing? I started to get up here and say, you know, Mr. Noel said everybody's acquainted with him and he needs no introduction. So I started to say, well, everybody knows Reverend Smith. He needs no introduction. I can just sit back down. However, I am honored to introduce him tonight, Reverend Frederick Smith. Reverend Frederick Smith. He has served as the Executive Director of the Boys and Girls Club of Cross County for 15 years. During his tenure there was a 65% growth in membership. Over 25 annual and seasonal jobs were created. Over $500,000 was raised from community support and $180,000 raised from grants. Several partnerships were formed, including one with the Wynn School District and Arkansas State University to provide a pre-K program. Another with the National Black Caucus Association to provide senior citizens with jobs and job placement. And another with the Memphis Grizzlies to provide a junior NBA and junior WNBA program. Prior to becoming the director for the Boys and Girls Club, he was a consultant for the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, which afforded him many opportunities to travel in the States and internationally to Africa, Austria, Germany, and England to study a variety of cultures and to participate and conduct trainings and seminars for various communities and civic groups. He has been consistently active in our community and the surrounding areas, serving on many boards, including being appointed board president of the Crowley's Ridge Technical Institute by our state governor. He was the first African-American president of the Wynn Rotary Club, where he was presented the highest award in Rotary, the Paul Harris Fellow Award. He is the very proud pastor of the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. Please give a warm welcome to my husband, Reverend Frederick Smith.
Thank you so much and good evening to you. Just while I try to move through some of my recognitions tonight, let me say thank you to my wife for that introduction. I appreciate her. Thank you for her support. Let me take an opportunity to recognize the officers for the NAACP, this chapter here in Lee County, President Blount, and to all the other officers, and to also the volunteers and the people who helped to make all of this happen. I want to just recognize them. To the Lee County residents and the churches of this area, let me say this, that you have been very welcoming to myself and my wife as we have moved through the Lee County area, preaching at your different churches Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. We have thoroughly enjoyed ourselves meeting so many of you and trying to do what we have been called to do, and that is deliver the gospel. Amen. And to deliver it in such a clear way until you understand what the gospel means in your life. So I appreciate the opportunity that you have allowed us to come and to share with you. I want to take an opportunity to recognize my parents who are here, my mother and father. Thank you all so much. Appreciate them for being here. They've been big supporters of ours, not just over the recent time, but for all of my life. They have been great supporters in helping us to become who we are today. And so I appreciate you so much. I want to take an opportunity to recognize our elected officials. I think Representative Murdoch is back there, my good friend, and let's hope and pray he's going to help me get something done down in Morrow. That's my pitch right there. And to Mayor Williams, his wife as well, and Representative Murdoch, his wife as well, we honor you and all of your significant others. We thank God for you. Mayor Williams, we met him some years ago when we worked with the enterprise community, working under Dr. Robert Cole, and he served as one of our board members for the enterprise community. So we remembered him from years gone by, and when we were afforded the opportunity to come here and to be a part of Lee County, we were fortunate to meet him again and get reacquainted with him, so we're appreciative of that. Then last but certainly not least, I want to recognize the New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. Thank you all so much. Thank you. You all have been so kind to us. You have loved us, treated us so fair, so good, so lovely. And I think we are just a match made in heaven. So we love you. Thank you so very much. Recognize again to all the preachers and pastors who are here, certainly to our good friend Reverend Garrett, his wife. Thank you so much. When we first got to the area, he was so kind and so welcoming, and he told me right off and really quick that if you mess up anything, I'll be over there to get you. And so we're trying our best not to mess anything up. And to also Reverend Bledsoe, who's been a good friend of ours as we've been in this area. I know the food is good. I've already been given some instructions by some of my own church members. And then I guess I shouldn't call Miss Blount's name. She's given me some instructions as to how much time I need to share with you today. And she says to me, and you all know her better than I do, you know I'm married to a preacher. So I know you preachers. So she gave me some specifics to time, and we'll try our very best to stay within that time frame. But the preacher's saying go like I want to go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The food is good. I want you to enjoy it. But let me just share just a little bit as we think around the thought of the theme, leading the fight for equality. Butterflies, bumblebees, and buzzards. Butterflies, bumblebees, and buzzards.
All right.
Butterflies accomplish much despite the great obstacles that are placed in their way. They have 4 stages of life. One stage is the egg stage, which is the beginning. One is the larva, which is the caterpillar stage. The pupa, which is the change and where they go into the cocoon and they absorb nutrients. And then the 4th and final stage is the adult stage. And there is where the butterfly comes out of the cocoon and life cycle begins. Blood is then pumped into the wings to cause the wings to expand. And after about 4 hours of trying to figure out gravitation and flight direction, they are ready to reproduce. 4 stages for the butterfly. Butterflies have taste buds or sensors on their feet, not in their mouth. They use their feet because whenever they light on a flower, those sensors on the feet can tell them whether this is good for food or not. Butterflies do not excrete waste. They use everything they eat for the energy that they need to be able to maneuver through the air. Butterflies have 4 wings. Not 2 wings, 4 wings. Their wings are in compartments. There are 2 upper level wings and 2 lower level wings, which gives them 4 wings. The wings are like hang gliders. They're not necessarily flapping to help them fly, but they flap to help them catch a current so they can get to the next landing spot. The wings of the butterfly. The wings of the butterfly are clear. And I know you see color when you see a butterfly, but they are actually clear. But the butterfly's wing has thousands of scales that are positioned there that whenever the light hits those scales, it exudes a beautiful color that we see. A butterfly has been known to fly from anywhere between 5 to 12 miles per hour and up to 3,000 miles in distance. That would be like driving from here to Las Vegas and back. Final point about the wings. Whenever a wing is broken off of a butterfly, the other wings grow larger. Whenever they run into some danger or some wind that causes a wing to snap away, the wings that they have left grow larger. Humans and leaders, we have 4 stages. Humans have infancy, childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. There are 4 stages of leadership when it comes to people. One stage of leadership is personal responsibility. It's where a person becomes aware or self-aware that he has not achieved what he has achieved on his own. But he stands on the shoulders of someone who has already tread this path for him. It's personal responsibility. Stage number 2 is emerging leadership. It's the act of volunteering without being asked. Emerging leadership is not waiting for the opportunity to knock at your door, but actually engaging yourself to create opportunity. Thirdly, intentional leadership. It is to assess the needs and the problems of others and then create the structures and the mechanisms that balances the support for all of the people that's involved. Fourth and finally, there is mentoring leadership, which says that current leaders who are in position must look to develop and create opportunities for others to take on greater responsibility so that the work and the vision can continue. Leaders, like butterflies, know how and when to use unorthodox methods to check things out to get the job done.
All right, you preach.
I would let you just diverge with me for just a moment. My dad, thank you for being here, sir, took 2 dilapidated houses when he saw that we needed a place to stay, and rather than going to buy a new house, he took 2 houses that were broken down and no good. And without any carpenter skill, without going to anybody's school, without sitting at the feet of any apprenticeship, I watched him take 2 dilapidated houses and put them together. And that house housed me and my 2 sisters for our entire life. Hallelujah. I'm talking about leaders know how to use unorthodox methods to get the job done.
Yes, sir.
Regardless of smarts and education, we have something that's called our gut feeling. Something that we've been given on the inside that I know how to check things out. It's just like the butterfly. He takes his feet and he sits on a flower. He doesn't take out the stem of his mouth to check what it tastes like, but he uses the senses on his feet to see if this is good for food or not. Leaders, like butterflies, know how to use unorthodox methods to check things out. You leaders, we're like butterflies. We know how to hold on to things in order to use them for energy and motivation to fight against unfair treatment and inequality in the services that are provided. Butterflies do not excrete any waste. Everything they eat, they use it for energy. So what I do is I do not forget what Dr. King marched for, because I use that for the motivation and energy for me to lead the fight in equality. I don't excrete anything. I don't let anything go to waste. I use it all for motivation. You and I, we should not forget that some folk had to read from books that the pages were torn out of so that somebody could write and make best-selling novels. You should not forget that. Somebody walked miles and gave their life up. We should not forget that. For us to have a right to be registered, and not only just be registered, but to go to the poll. Feel something pushing me on the street. Go to the poll and vote. We got to use everything we got for energy to fight the unfair treatment. Leaders they know how to maneuver in the storm and how to travel great distances to get things done, even when your wings are being clipped. Maybe, somebody think they're getting the best of you, or maybe people think they're getting over on you and think they're clipping your wings, but you've been given an ability that whenever one thing is clipped, you know how to grow something else. You can't hold a good man or a good woman down. I don't care what you do, you can't hold us down. We know how to grow in different areas and make things happen. We can maneuver with the storm, and just because you close one door, we've been given something that we know how to heist up. Can I say heist up? We know how to heist up a window and climb in. We know how to tear holes in the ceiling and come down. We know how to figure things out. We like butterflies. We can maneuver the storm.
Yes, sir.
And not only are we like butterflies maneuvering the storm, but we do it with color. We do it with so much grace. And so much dignity. And so prestige. I mean, we can walk into a room and we know somebody. I mean, if I could, and we funeralized many people today, but one of those people which is important to our lives, and I don't need to call her name, but when it was time for her to make a move, she had a sachet and a walk. She had a sachet and a walk like no other. She had a voice and a demeanor like no other. We know how to color the place up. No matter how boring it may be, we just got color about us. We got some spice and some pizzazz. We just loud with everything. I mean, we bedazzle it all. I mean, it was just one color. We put some glitter to it. We like butterflies. Bumblebees. Bumblebees, they help flowers grow. Bumblebees accomplish much with what seems to be very little. One scientist says that they will succeed from the power of their own ignorance. Bumblebees have two stomachs. They use one to eat, and then they use the other to store food to take back to the hive to feed others. Bumblebees communicate with their scent to recognize which flowers are the best flowers for food. Bumblebees, they communicate with their dance to tell others where good food is. The scientists would call the dance that the bumblebees use the waggle dance. Bumblebees have very tiny wings. Very small wings. The wings are so small that it would seem that the wings are not able or capable to hold the body weight of a bumblebee. That's right. So what the bumblebee does is he heats up his body to about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. He gyrates the muscles so fast in his body to heat up the muscles so that when he flaps his little bitty wings, he's able to propel in the air. Scientists says that a bumblebee will flap his wings about 200 times per second. That's about 12,000 times per minute. He uses everything he has to get the job done. Leaders, I don't know if I ought to ask you if there's some bumblebees in the house. We concerned about other people just like we are ourselves.
That's right.
It's a blessing when you're able to take care of yourself and eat for yourself, but it's an even greater blessing when we're able to bless somebody else. It's a characteristic, it's a character trait that has actually brought us over. It's a character trait that has actually brought us to this point. We know how to put things together to get more. Diverge with me for just a little bit longer. My friends and I, when I played basketball for the Win Yellow Jackets, we would practice, and then when the game day came, Sister Brown, it would be time for us to maybe go to McDonald's or go somewhere so we could get some food before the game later on. And because we did not have time to go home, we would have to figure out, where are we going to go from here? And we decided, well, let's everybody go down to McDonald's. And so we go down to McDonald's to eat, and we discovered on our way there that while we're traveling, I only had $1.50. And then I tapped the brother next to me. He only had $1.25. And we asked another, you know, he spent his at lunch, and then he only got about 75 cents. You know, and then we asked a few more, man, I just got $2. And what we discovered is if we put all of this together, we could have us a family reunion down at McDonald's. So we discovered the best trait for us was to take everybody's little bit and put it together so we can have a big bit. That's what the bumblebees, and that's what we do. That's our trait. We know how to put things together so we can have more. Leaders, we're like bumblebees. We have a special way of communicating. It's not just about ebonics, but we know how to communicate with one another. We know how to tell others where good things are and where productive things are. We know how to tell each other where good things are so that we can have a good living. We know how to dance to get people's attention. We do this because we want to organize people, and we want to organize events so we can inform them where knowledge and wisdom and love and peace abide. We know how to dance to get people's attention. If we were, sometimes, you know, you're at the family reunion, and when the DJ hits the music, and you know, everybody has a really good feeling. I mean, you know, it's just feeling good because you done ate a lot of barbecue and a lot of fish, and you're full, and you know, you're looking at grandmama and Uncle Nim and Auntie Nim, and everybody's doing good, and the DJ hit the music, and everybody hit the flow, and we decided what we gonna do since everybody out here. So we get in the line, and you know, we got a row here and a row there and a row there, and then the DJ said, "You can't see it, it's electric." And so we all knew what move to do. I mean, we just went from one side to the other side. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. It was the electric slide, but we know how to organize people. You know how to get them together. Now, I know in 2018 they have spruced it up. It's the wobble wobble and the shake it shake it. I know there's something else now, but it started with the electric slide. And if you will come to the church house, we know how to organize it there, because when the preacher gets through telling you how good God is, and when the music hit the right note, we all know what move to make. We know how to put it together. Leaders, we're like bumblebees. We're able to carry what seems like an unbearable load. We're not fazed when it comes to doing the unthinkable or the seemingly impossible. Leaders, we use everything we have to get the job done. The frame, this was what I would tell the guys out on the basketball court. I would tell them, you know, sometimes they would come out and look at me, and they check me out, they size me up, and they say, And I would tell them very quickly, don't let this frame mislead you. Don't let this frame fool you. Because in this right here, you come against me, you're going to have a problem today. We're like bumblebees. We may look small and may look like we can't handle it, but in us there is a lot of power waiting